in the 1-800-CALL-ATT Shootout. From the Dallas Mavericks, Steve Nash. Also from the Dallas Mavericks, Dirk Nowitzki. From the Milwaukee Bucks, Ray Allen. From the New York Knicks, Allen Houston. From the Orlando Magic, Pat Garrity. From the Sacramento Kings, Peja Stojakovic. From the Seattle Supersonics, Rashard Lewis. And from the Utah Jazz, Brian Russell.
Tough ball players, batting up flag.
The 2001 All-Star Saturday 1-800-CALL-ATT Shootout competitors.
All right, and here is what is at stake. The winner will go home with $25,000. The runner-up, $15,000. Third place, $10,000. This is the 15th three-point shootout. The winner a year ago, Jeff Hornacek of the Utah Jazz, joining Larry Bird and Craig Hodges and Mark Price as the only players to win it on 2 occasions. And you can continue to log on to NBA.com or America Online, keyword NBA.com, to cast your vote for the 1-800-CALL-ATT Shootout champion. Guys, who do you like, Danny?
Well, I like Steve Nash, except I don't like drawing the first lane, being the first shooter out there. But Steve's the only guy in the league shooting 50% from the field, 90 from the free throw line, and 40% from the three-point line. So arguably he's the best shooter in the league, and plus he's one of my favorites. So I'm going with Nash.
Well, if you go on percentages, you'd wind up going with Pat Garrity, but I'm going with Peja Stojakovic.
Well, one good thing
He's
about
on a
Peja,
roll.
he's had a chance to shoot.
He's on a roll. He's warmed up. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He's got it going.
All right, here's Steve Nash in his 5th season out of Santa Clara, 2 years with Phoenix. This is 3rd year with Dallas. Injury hit recently with that pulled hamstring, but this has been his best NBA season.
Off to a great start. It's important. That first rack is critical.
Well, he has great rotation on the ball coming out of his hand.
You know, little guys have a little bit of a disadvantage. It's a little more a harder shot for him than a guy like Peja or Nowitzki. So, you know, fatigue could be a factor.
And here's the money ball, that multicolored ball. That's worth 2 points right here.
Danny, how about legs right now? Is it too early to say that legs are being affected?
No, it looks like they're affected. In the last 2 racks, he stumbled a little bit, and his balls are offline. He's got his rhythm back right now, though he needs a strong finish. He's going to have a tough time finishing the rack off, too, from a time element. You can see he's trying to rush it to get it done.
Steve Nash of the Dallas Mavericks finishing with 14 points. On this opening round, there are 2 rounds of competition. The top 3 scores advance to the finals.
Well, you can see he was getting a little tired. He had a little bit of a slump, and then right here on the 3rd rack, he got hot. Hit his last few shots, but just didn't have the time. He had that rhythm going, but he ran out of time.
Will you dip down a little bit deeper if you feel that your shots are coming up short to get some more distance on it?
I think so. You try to use your legs a little bit more to get the ball there.
And Dallas Mavericks owner Mark Cuban rooting for Steve Nash and for Dirk Nowitzki, who is up next. And Dirk Nowitzki having a breakthrough season. This guy, an outstanding inside-outside shooter, has tremendous range. and has attempted 231 from the three-point land, among the leaders in that department.
Now, both of our first two shooters, Danny, started in the right corner. They're going right to left. Any reason for it? Or
Well, they just like shooting that way, going that direction. And they've been practicing. These guys spent 3 hours today at George Washington or Georgetown working on this competition. So they're ready. They're prepared.
That's 4 straight for Nowitzki, who was in the competition last year, went to the final round.
can I call a foul because the ball boy holding the rack got in his way, caused him to run another 1.5 feet deeper.
Well, it's interesting because Craig Hodges, when you watched him do it in his victories, he ran in front of the rack. These two Dallas Maverick players are running behind the rack. You know, that might be a difference of a couple of seconds. See, right there, he's a little bit delayed running into the crowd.
He got caught in the crowd. The guys on the bench, the ball boys.
Oh, red-hot shooting by Dirk Nowitzki. Hit his last 5.
Well, stamina was a factor. You know, the bigger guy has a chance. Doesn't get quite as tired as the littler guy who relies more on his legs.
But obviously, Dirk has to work on that rack procedure.
He will get counseling on the side.
Ends up with 17. Let's go to Cheryl with Dirk.
Well, Dirk, I heard that you spent some time shooting for 3 hours at Georgetown. It seemed like it paid off.
Yeah, a little bit. I didn't practice all last year, so I said I got to get a couple shots over it yesterday and today. I think it helped.
Feel more comfortable coming into this competition as opposed to last season?
Of course, you know, when you did it once, you know, you feel more comfortable around the guys and you know what you have to do, you know the rules, so it's been good.
All right, feel comfortable with the score. Thanks a lot.
All right, Cheryl, Dirk Nowitzki out of Wurzburg, Germany. There's the maneuver around the rack, which he'll have to work on.
We'll see how coachable he is and see how smart he is to adjust to the next round. If he makes it into the next round, he probably will. Great finish.
Well, let's also look at the next shooter up to see if they, you know, affect the route that they take in taking the shots off the rack, balls off the rack.
Well, support from teammate Steve Nash. Nash checking with a 14. Nowitzki at 17. And here is Ray Allen of the Milwaukee Bucks, who was in the competition a year ago. 260 attempts from downtown during the regular season, which leads the NBA.
Well, Ray is a really strong shooter. I mean, he's got a great body, great athleticism, but he shoots the ball real easy. Plus, he plays a lot of minutes and gets up a lot of shots, so stamina should not be a problem in this event for him.
Yeah, and throughout his career, he's just under 39% from the three-point line. This year, he's right at 41%, so he's upped it a little bit.
Milwaukee's career leader in three-point shooting. Last year, second in the NBA in three-point field goals made. And Dan, another guy who's also an excellent free-throw shooter.
Yeah, Ray is a great shooter. He scores in a lot of different ways, though. He's not exclusively a three-point shooter. He's getting hot right now.
He hit 6 in a row before that miss and hits the money ball.
Yeah, very little bend in his legs. Very little bend in his legs as far as getting that extra strength for distance from Ray Allen.
Oh, nice job by Ray Allen. On fire. Alonzo Mourning appreciating the effort of Ray Allen, who's taken the lead with a 20 on this opening round.
Well, again, we talked about his stamina and strength. He struggled a little bit middle in the round, and then he picks it up down the stretch. He goes through this right here, hits 6 in a row, really picks up momentum, finishes very strong, and he needed it because he got a little soft.
Yeah, he was not affected at all as he came down the stretch here to his last 2 racks of basketballs.
Strong finish for Ray. Let's go to Cheryl.
Well, Ray, before the warm-ups, you were working on a set shot. You decided to throw that out for work.
Oh, yeah, you get real tired out there. You got to go and make sure a great shooter, and I jump shooting, so I got to continue to do that.
You said last year you were a little concerned about fatigue, but this year you're just coming in to relax and get into a good rhythm.
Oh, yeah, I want to make shots early, and if I had enough time, then I was going to go out there and try and speed on through it.
Seemed to work. Let's go back to you, Marv.
All right, Cheryl, Ray Allen hit 17 of his 25 shots.
That's pretty impressive. That's a good first round. That should get him into the finals. At 20, you got to feel pretty comfortable. Anything in the teens right now is a little shaky because you just never know who's going to get hot.
I said we'd be back in the 20s again this year.
You predicted it. There's some great shooters out there. Now, Garrity, here's a guy. Here's a guy who shoots it. Who we got now?
Allen Houston of the Knicks up next. Allen receiving a warm reception, a lot of Knicks support here in the Washington area. 46% shooter from downtown during the season.
This is a guy you'd love to watch shoot. He's got a beautiful, soft stroke.
He takes the ball from the left side, brings it across his body, and shoots it down on the right side rather than running around to the other side.
Time could be a factor for him. He's not shooting the ball real quick. We'll see how the time element comes down the stretch for him if he has to rush it. Fatigue, he's not getting any legs. Everything's off the front rim right now.
That's all that defense that Jeff Van Gundy makes him play. It's affected his legs.
And Allen doing double duty. He'll be playing for the Eastern All-Stars tomorrow night.
Well, you said it, Danny. He's not going to get the balls up out of the rack on time before it's up.
So Allen Houston with an 11. That will not make it to the second round. The leader, Ray Allen of the Milwaukee Bucks, who was going at a blistering pace, hitting 17 of his 25 shots. So the rest of the field is coming up in a moment. We'll be back to the MCI Center after these words. Chicago's Craig Hodges made NBA All-Star history.
13. Hasn't missed yet. A total of 30 points is possible. Look at this. This is unbelievable. Unbelievable. That was tremendous shooting.
Well, a stunning performance some 10 years ago by Craig Hodges. 19 consecutive from downtown. Well, Ray Allen able to open up with 20 points to lead the way over Dirk Nowitzki with 17. Next up is Pat Garrity of the Orlando Magic. In his third year out of Notre Dame, the number 3 man from beyond the three-point line behind John Stockton and Brent Barry.
Little test for you. How many times did Craig Hodges win the three-point shootout?
Twice.
3 times.
3 times. See, I knew I'd get you on that one. Larry Bird 3 times. Craig Hodges 3 times.
Lazar very proud of himself.
Well, Craig Hodges used to have racks built in his basement down in his house, I heard. He practiced the competition.
This is Pat Garrity. First-round pick originally by the Milwaukee Bucks. Now a member of the Orlando Magic, a club that has won its last 6 games.
Coming into this, he was shooting over 46% from the three-point line for the season.
Well, I coached Pat in Phoenix, and he's a terrific shooter, and he has a chance to really get on a roll. He's one of those guys that have the ability to knock down 7, 8, 10 shots in a row. Pretty good for performance so far. He's got time to finish the rack, too.
Moneyball!
Oh, that was a big one. He needed that one.
So Pat Garrity finishing up with a 15. That puts him in the middle of the pack.
Well, he eliminated Steve Nash from the competition right there by getting 15, but he's still sitting on the bubble. But right here, you can see he has a little tiptoe jump shot, which is an advantage for a bigger guy. Guards can't get away with those kind of shots.
So right here, he stands number 3. The top 3 scorers advance to the finals. Let's go to Craig Sager and Pat Garrity.
Well, Pat, right now you're among the top 3, but did you think maybe you should have hit that last shot to get there?
Oh, man, those last 2, I started rushing on my last 3, and I shouldn't have, because that last money ball would have been good. I don't think 15 is going to hold up.
It's there now, but good luck.
All right, thanks.
All right, from Pat Garrity to Peja Stojakovic out of Yugoslavia. Had a very busy night earlier, combined with Ruthie Bolton Holyfield of the Sacramento Monarchs of the WNBA to win the 2-ball competition.
Okay, how many times did Mark Price win the shootout?
Oh, well, you go way.
Twice. Exactly. I'm trying to help him.
Dave is another pretty good shooter. But right here, Peja, you can see he's going in front of the rack, so he's learned something. But you got to like the fact that he's been out here shooting twice already.
And Peja being getting the support from his Sacramento teammates, Vlade Divac and Chris Webber.
And that time he actually did go behind the rack, Danny, and slipped a little bit as he tried to get his feet ready for the first ball out of that rack.
And he's going behind again. Maybe he's not as smart as I thought. I gave him credit for going in front of that first one. He's got plenty of time. He can slow down a little bit. He has time to get the shots up. And when you're feeling it, you don't want to slow down.
That time he went in front of the rack because that's where all the congestion is down in the corner.
He's at 5 of his last 6, 6 of his last 7. Strong finish for Peja Stojakovic.
Great finish. Now that eliminates Garrity out of the competition, and it's looking like you're going to have to get 19 or 20 to get to the finals, maybe, these last two guys.
I think I picked Peja going into this.
Yes, you did. You're doing good so far.
Thank you.
That was a good pick, especially since he was in the 2-ball competition. That is definitely an advantage. You know, coming out, you know, cold is a bad deal.
Peja at one point hit 8 of 9. Let's go to Cheryl.
Well, Peja, it looked like you took advantage of the 2-ball competition. 19 points. You got to be happy with your score.
Well, I am. Yeah, I got warmer as the round goes by, you know. But it's a different thing in the game. You got to shoot 25 balls in a minute, so I'm just getting a lot of fun right now. We'll see.
You look a little tired.
I do. Heartbeat over there. A lot of pressure. Players over there.
Hope your score stands up. Get a little rest. Let's go back to you, Marv.
All right, Cheryl, good scores here tonight. Ray Allen with a 20 on the opening round. That represents the best first-round score since Tim Legler registered a 23 back in 1996. Legler winning it that season. And now here's Peja Stojakovic as the runner-up at the moment with 19. Rashard Lewis of the Seattle Supersonics in his 3rd year of the NBA. A 42% shooter from downtown will go to the rack.
Danny, his career three-point shooting percentage was at 32. Suddenly this year he's up over 41%. Is that just a maturation process, strength, understanding your range? What is it?
I don't know, but it looks like that wind is affecting that ball.
I said there was a wind factor in
Hey,
it.
this is the first time he's been in the competition. He's been sitting over there for about a half hour waiting to shoot. You know, he's got to find some rhythm right here. Looks like he's catching up now, but this guy works really hard on his shot, Mike. He spends a lot of time before practice, after practice, before games, working on his game.
He is one of the bright young stars in this league. When you watch him and what's taking place there in Seattle, you can see the tremendous confidence they have in him, and obviously the fact that he's so young and he's going to be with them for hopefully a long time there in Seattle.
Rashard Lewis making it out of Elite Elsik High School in Texas, 2nd-round pick in '98, right to the Sonics, emerging as a starter this year.
Just got off to a bad start. Took him out of the competition a little bit. He tried to pick it up, but first time around, mark it down as experience.
As one who has taken part in 4 shootouts, can you build on the previous year? Did you learn from?
Yeah, I think you learned that you better practice a little bit in the competition, plus find a way to stay warm, you know, because he's, like I said, he's been sitting over there just watching. So you got to get some practice on how and have a strategy.
A reminder, you can continue to log on to NBA.com or America Online. Keyword NBA.com to cast your vote for the 1-800-CALL-ATT Shootout champion.
Let's go back to when Allen Iverson was in the competition. Remember how bad he was in the three-point competition? He said, you know, I didn't practice it. And as you mentioned, this is a little bit different. You got to get yourself ready for this.
Yeah, this is not shooting even in practice, or it's not shooting in games, obviously, catching it off a rack and shooting this many shots in that short a time.
And here is Brian Russell of the Utah Jazz, who is 5th in three-point shooting. Brian also a busy guy today, taking part of the 2-ball.
Another one of those guys, Danny, you said had the early warm-up, and we'll see how it affects him here.
But the thing I don't like what Brian's doing is he's not shooting his game shot. He's shooting a set shot. That's not how he shoots in games. So, you know, I have a hard time believing that this kind of stroke will hold up.
See Karl Malone, his Jazz teammate, looking on. Slow start for Brian Russell, who is in trouble here.
It's the Magic Johnson three-point shot he's shooting.
Yeah, that's not his game. You know, I think he'll learn to shoot his own shot. When you're under pressure, this might work in practice sometimes. When you get out here, it's like Ray Allen made the adjustment. He thought he would shoot the set shots, but he ended up going to his real shot. And I think Brian is going to learn that for next year if he's in the competition.
Brian Russell finishing up with a 10. So the top 3 scores advance to the finals. It will be a final round of Ray Allen, who had the hot hand, 17 of 25 for 20 points. Peja Stojakovic of the Sacramento Kings, who had a 19. And Dirk Nowitzki of the Dallas Mavericks will be back with the shootout final in a moment. In Washington on a festive day and night here at the MCI Center, and here are some of the sights and sounds from All-Star Saturday.
I got him, Coach. Yeah, Coach, I got this thing. I got this thing on him. I got this thing on him. Yeah, I got this thing on him. Hey, see, that's real foul, man.
You can't be embarrassing me like that, man. Man. I thought me and you was here, man.
You just came in.
You was here, man.
Gotta cool me off, Khalid. Gotta cool me off somehow.
Let's go, Ruthie! Girl, you gotta represent us.
Yeah, baby.
Hazuki, mommy love.
We won. We won. Yeah, baby. Woo! Let's go, Sacramento. Represent, baby. That ain't bad for going first, baby. I know, man. That ain't too bad for going first. Yeah, baby! Yeah, Dougie! Yes, baby! Get hot! No, that's terrible. That's terrible.
Nowitzki coming up. Marv Albert, Danny Ainge with the Czar. Mike Fratello, the Czar, preparing more of his pop quiz questions, which can come at you at any moment.
Well, you picked Peja, so you're in good position. I picked Wally Serbiak. Oh, he's not in this one. He was 5 for 6 earlier today.
Marv, who did you pick, Marv? I didn't hear a pick from you.
No, I look at this objectively. I don't want to have any... All right, Pagers, Stojakovic, Ray Allen, Dirk Nowitzki in the finals. Nowitzki had the hot hand, made all 5 balls on the final rack in the first round.
So based on Danny's big man theory, Dirk Nowitzki has an advantage here. He's leading off. We'll see if it holds up.
Nowitzki with a 17 on that opening round. He went to the finals a year ago, did not do well as Jeff Hornacek beat him out. You're looking at German television covering live. Dirk Nowitzki out of Würzburg, Germany, played professionally in Germany.
You can see him really trying to get the ball up in the air a little bit higher, Danny. He was short in that middle rack on quite a few shots.
Yeah, he's got great arch on his shot, but that's very disappointing performance. I think the wind caught that one as well. Not as good as Detlef Schrempf did, the other German that did so well in this competition.
That obviously will be very tough to hold up. Dirk Nowitzki with just a 10 on the final round.
Went to the front of the rack, though, so he learned from going from behind the rack, but he just ran out of time. And you can see as he finishes up here, the wind starts blowing. Someone opened the door right there, and, oh, the wind is taking the ball left.
Left into the backboard.
Tough to bank those shots from the corner, Mike.
All right, let's go over to Craig Sager.
Well, Dirk, what happened? You're so hot in the first round, made all 5 in that last rack, but here only 10 points.
I wasn't really hot in the first round either. I just made 5 shots on the last rack. I don't know. I was practicing this morning, yesterday, and it was good, but I don't know.
Well, it's been a great year for Dallas, obviously, with Michael Finley in the All-Star game, Charles Barkley promoting your case, Mark Cuban, your owner, watching you here tonight. I know you put a lot of time and effort in this, even going to Georgetown and practicing yesterday. You thrilled them for a while, but you feel a little disappointed?
Not at all. I think this weekend is not about winning. It's about having fun and we're just meeting new guys and hanging around the guys, and that's what this weekend is all about.
2 years in a row, you made it to the finals. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Back to Marv.
All right, Craig, now the question is, can Peja Stojakovic make it a doubleheader victory off the 2-ball win earlier? Peja hit 8 of his last 9. He had 19, just a point behind Ray Allen on the opening round.
Hey, Danny, we keep hearing that he went to the gym and practiced for 3 hours. Can you leave it in the gym?
Oh, absolutely. But, you know, get a little tight out there, too. I mean, it's a lot different shooting under pressure with the crowd and the time, and it's a whole different environment.
A fast start. He's hit 4 straight. Peja Stojakovic averaging 19 a game for the Sacramento Kings out of Yugoslavia.
And he went right in line with rack number 2. He has a little bit of an unusual release on his hand, doesn't he? It's like, almost like a screwball coming out.
It kind of reminds me of Terry Porter, who shoots the ball. You can see his rotation is a little bit that way, where their wrist actually follows through to the right. But a great shooter. You know, you practice enough and you shoot a certain way, and he's got great touch.
There we go.
He's going to put some pressure. No matter what he does in this last rack, he's going to put some pressure on Ray Allen. He's got a respectable score already. If he has a good rack, he can win this.
16.
Strong finish for Peja Stojakovic. Puts up a 17 on the board, had a 19 in the opening round, so now the pressure will be on the Milwaukee Bucks' Ray Allen.
There is some pressure on Ray Allen right now. 17 is a respectable score in the finals, you know, when the fatigue factor comes in. So that's a good job. But you can see what Mike's saying. He follows through. His wrist turns a little bit to the right, puts a little bit of a funny rotation on the ball.
It's the same as in baseball, an unusual, unorthodox swing. But as you said, you swing enough times, you shoot enough times, it becomes your stroke. And someone like this is very good at it, obviously.
All right, here's Craig.
All right, Danny Ainge says the fatigue factor is setting in. You come over and you collapse. Are you tired?
Yeah, I am tired. You know, it's really hard, you know, especially on a 4 and 5 rack. It gets really tough, especially when you go second round.
You had a victory in the 2-ball. Do you think your score here might hold up 17?
I don't know. We'll see. Everything depends on the Ray Allen.
All right, thanks a lot. Let's go back tomorrow.
Well, our statistician, Marty Aronoff, points out that Peja took 15 shots in 2-ball and then 50 in the shootout. So there you have the fatigue factor. Ray Allen looking to surpass Peja Stojakovic for the championship.
Coming out of the gates, obviously a confidence build. If he can hit 3 or 4 of the first shots here, Ray's on his way.
Ray Allen at one point hit 6 in a row on the first round, finished 17 of 25 overall, and not able to connect with the money ball.
And he finished strong in the first round. Like we said, he's got great stamina. He's used to playing a lot and shooting a lot.
Ray Allen of the Milwaukee Bucks chasing that man, Peja Stojakovic.
He's been right on line from the middle. Every one of those 5 shots was dead center.
There it is. He's starting to feel it right now. Needs a strong finish. This 2-ball's huge right here.
Oh, 6 straight for Ray Allen. He has tied Stojakovic. He's won it. Ray Allen of the Milwaukee Bucks with a blistering performance to take the championship.
That's impressive. It's impressive because he struggled early on, and he just kept his poise and kept shooting. In both rounds, he got better the stronger he got, or he got stronger the round went along.
And it seemed like, Danny, when he got to the middle in the first round, he started that confidence you're talking about. And again here, when he got back to the middle of the floor, it's like he knows he's going to make him from there, and then he just built on top of it.
Guys, he hit 10 in a row as he picked it up, as you mentioned, Czar, in the middle rounds.
And that's impressive in the finals with the pressure because, again, he started out really bad, and he had to do it to win, and he came on strong and did what he had to do.
Amazing how big-time players, when the crowd gets into it a little bit, they make a little bit noise, they respond to it.
Ray started 6 of 14, then hit 10 straight. He's had the experience. This is second shootout, finished 3rd last year. Let's go to Craig with the champion.
All right, Ray, you start out slowly. 6 of your first 14. Then you got hot hitting 10 in a row. Did you feel the groove?
Yeah, I started off, I was a little nervous, but once I got around to this side, I felt it. It was working for me.
Danny Ainge was talking about how some people maybe altered their shot. They go more to a set shot, but you're doing the jump shot all the way. How much did you practice for this?
Well, I know that I shoot a jump shot, and it was important for me to move from rack to rack because when I jump, it takes a little time off my score.
Got to the finals last year. What did you learn from the competition that helped you through this year?
Just go out there and shoot it. Just shoot it just like I do in the game.
What makes a good shooter for all these kids watching at home and also here? How do you become a great shooter?
I think it's important to shoot over and over again. We shoot before practice, shoot during practice, and you shoot after practice. Repetition is the key.
You go back to Milwaukee. Your team is in first place. You're the ATT Shootout champion. What are you guys looking for in the second half of the season?
Well, we definitely want to beat Philly when we play them, but we want to win the Eastern Conference, so you guys all cheer for us.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you.
Marv?
All right, thank you, Craig. So it is Ray Allen, NBA All-Star, movie star, shootout champion. He shot 66% from downtown over the 2 rounds. We'll take a break right here. We'll be back with the trophy presentation, and coming up shortly, the slam's gone by. Larry Nance of the Cavs. Dominique Wilkins won it on 2 occasions. How about Spud Webb and Michael Jordan, 87 and 88. Kenny Walker of the New York Knicks, the winner in 1989. Dee Brown in 91. Cedric Savatos, blindfold and all. Alleged blindfold. Harold Miner. J.R. Ryder in 94. Brent Barry going straight down the lane. Kobe in 97. And last year it was Vince Carter. We'll be back with the slam dunk in a moment. Washington.
Oh, my God. Craig Sager's long-lost brothers are here. What in the world is happening in this country?
This city, I think. Is this the city, though? Might be this defense.
Hey, man.
We might not be hit. I think it's us.
No. Oh, it ain't us. Trust me.
Okay.
Back here with Charles Barkley and Kenny Smith.
Coach Thompson.
John Thompson joins
Coach,
us here.
you got to say something about them outfits.
I love them. I love them. It reminds me of the old Ali fights. Oh. And they were old fights. Hey, we're ready for a heavyweight fight called the NBA.com Slam Dunk.
I thought you were talking about me and Coach Thompson.
By real. I'd take him in that one. No, I'm a coward. I'm not gonna do it. I can't even run anymore. Don't even instigate that. Let's talk about
Coach, I just meant heavyweight.
Some of your favorite moments from past dunk contests. We'll start with Coach Thompson and go back a few years on this one.
Well, mine was Spud Webb because he was the least expected in my mind to have won the thing, and I think he got the most out of the natural ability he had. When you look at him, you say Spud Webb's not going to win this thing. He started throwing balls off the backboard, off the floor, reverse dunking. He's the furthest from the rim, too.
This was 1986 in his hometown of Dallas. He played for the Hawks. He beat his teammate Dominique Wilkins in the final, and Neek said, guy never practiced, kept his mouth shut, said we don't really have anything going on, and then he broke all that stuff out on him. Kenny, you're next.
It's too easy to say Dominique, Jordan, and Vince Carter, so I'm going to go and let you know I'm a real aficionado. Here we got Terrence Stansbury with the Statue of Liberty dunk, 360 style, the best, and you can't appreciate it until you see it in slow motion. He's turning, he's still going up as he goes, so I go with Terrence Stansbury. That's a great name from the past. My favorite dunk, until Vince Carter came along last year, but I went back in the past, I'm not sure how to explain this guy, but it's J.R. Ryder. He called it something like the East Bay dunk.
Funk dunk. Yeah, careful.
That's when he played for Minnesota. Yeah.
It is. And there's another look.
But he's from Oakland area, so that's where the East Bay comes from.
And he is hard to explain.
And I'll just go back a year. I know it's easy, but we'll go back to last year and half man, half amazing. And I picked this sort of because Kenny gave him a 9 on one of his dunks. Everybody in the place knew.
That was bananas. This is too hard to describe. Too hard. The thing? I was watching that game last year. After he did his first dunk, they can go ahead and poll the judges.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it was already over.
What do we think's going to happen tonight of the 6 first-timers in here?
Well, none of them really get to play enough for us to know anything about them. So we're going to be just as shocked as the people at home would help us. I think you're going to...
Man, that's the worst. Go.
Yeah, I think that's the good thing about about it because no one really knows what these guys have. I think they're going to have something that
I'm being serious, Ernie.
I think that's a good thing.
We don't have a clue what's going to happen.
Well, all the guys, I have to go along with these guys. I hate to be in their company, to tell you the truth, Ernie, but all the guys that I picked aren't here.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to come up with something really
and the
amazing.
last thing that you're going to get, there's two guys. I'm not going to expose them now. I don't know if they should be out there. So you're going to get a couple of those out there.
They're going to be on your
They're going to be on my
skunk list.
The skunk list instead of the dunk
I'm going to pick a surprise guy. I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to go with the young guy, Jonathan Bender.
All right. Thank you very much. I'm going with Baron Davis, by the way.
I'm going with Stevenson.
All right. And, hey, Coach Thompson, we're going to see you on CNN tomorrow with Wolf Blitzer and with David Stern and Michael Jordan and Tim Duncan. Town Hall meeting, 1 o'clock Eastern Time. By the way, not only am I picking Baron Davis, I also had Allen Houston in the three-point. You saw how that one turned out.
It's just a death.
Allen Iverson picked Baron Davis, too. I was talking to him earlier.
Oh,
that's what he said.
Great minds. We'll be back.
Brought to you by Chrysler. We're reinventing the passion for driving. By Autotrader.com, the biggest, best used car site on the planet. And by Jordan.
Welcome back to Washington, D.C. as we get ready for the NBA.com Slam Dunk presented by Real. It's a very young field. There is no one older than 24 years of age. A look at the rules, each player performing 3 dunks. One must be with a teammate. The best 2 dunk scores combined for the individual total. The top 3 players will advance to the finals. And then in that final round, each player will perform 2 dunks, and the composite score will determine the winner. It's all coming up as we head to commercial break. Who can forget Vince Carter from a year ago? Slam dunk competition coming up next.
Slam Dunk fans, prepare for takeoff. Here are the contestants of the 2001 NBA.com Slam Dunk presented by Real. From the Charlotte Hornets at 6'3", Baron Davis. At 6'11" from the Indiana Pacers, Jonathan Bender. At 6'6" from the Los Angeles Clippers, Corey Maggette. From the Seattle Supersonics at 6'7", Desmond Mason. From the Utah Jazz at 6'5", Deshaun Stevenson. And at 6'10" from the Vancouver Grizzlies, Stromile Swift. Let's hear it for the 2001 contestants in the NBA.com Slam Dunk presented by Real.
As I said, a very young field. The winner will go home with $25,000. Second place worth $15,000. Third place, $10,000. And don't forget to log on to NBA.com or America Online, keyword NBA.com, to cast your vote for the champion of the NBA.com Slam Dunk presented by Real. And once again, a distinguished panel of judges, including Hall of Famers Nate Tiny Archibald, David Thompson, Julius Irving, and our TNT colleagues Danny Ainge, Kenny Smith. And once again, we have the microphones on Kenny and Danny. Guys, what are you looking for in this field?
I'm going for Deshaun Stevenson. If he can pull off the heezy for sheezy dunk that he described to me, I'm going with him.
How can you go for him? We haven't even seen a dunk
No,
yet.
but I talked with all of them. I talked with all of them.
You're a judge. But no, I really was looking for the swagger right now. I want to see who was really confident. They're young. These guys have never dunked in front of this many people when you're by yourself, and they didn't seem confident. So I'm not sure who's going to be.
And they weren't warming up very hard. There was nobody sweating.
There's nobody
ready.
sweating. This is different. This is very different.
Czar, last year we saw Kenny Smith as a very difficult judge. High standards. You think he will change?
The Russian judge.
Yeah. Now, Kenny, do you change your standards for this particular field?
No, not at all. You gotta bring your game, not your name, because I'm coming here. I want to see everything that you have all out.
I'm just glad there's no North Carolina players playing here, so it can be fair.
Then that would be a biased opinion, no question.
All right, here's Baron Davis, who has emerged as the favorite out of UCLA. Remember the Charlotte Hornets, who has really come on in this his second season. All right, Baron Davis up first.
Well, that's not too simple. It was a perfect pass, but he just jumped so high anywhere around the rim. That's a dunk.
Yeah, the reason I gave him a higher score, I would have gave him an 8, but the height at which he threw the alley-oop to himself made it a little more difficult.
And it was a perfect on the first try.
Perfect on the first try. Yeah, no baseball strike stuff. None of that.
Well, an impressive number for Baron Davis. Gets 9 across the board for a 45 total. It's been a difficult time for Baron. A week ago, his father died of a heart attack at the age of 50. Baron, raised by his grandparents in Santa Monica, California. He and his dad had just begun to patch up their relationship. Baron said they were becoming real close the past couple of years.
Surprised he's recovered as well as he has from that knee surgery, and obviously a terrific season thus far for the Charlotte Hornets. They've got him on the floor almost 40 minutes a game, so obviously Paul Silas feels very good about this young man's play.
Hey, Marv, last year he asked me to put him to say that he should be in a dunk contest. I went to a practice. After practice, Larry Bird made him dunk from the free throw line for me to try to get him in last year. So we'll see what he can do now.
All right, that's Jonathan Bender with the windmill attempt.
See, Kenny, that, you can get away with a miss, which is okay, but, that's just not warming up. The guy can do that dunk 9 out of 10 times, but he's just not loose yet.
He has no sweat right now. I don't know anybody who can do it without a sweat.
Well, there it is, Kenny. There's one that can do it without a sweat.
But the second try, though.
Second try. We're judging on the first dunk, ladies and gentlemen. So if we're judging on that first dunk, I have to go low.
He missed it. You got to go low.
Actually, you are only entitled to 1 dunk at a time. I don't know if there was a warm-up on the part of Jonathan Bender.
He called do-over, Marv. I say it all the time.
Playing by his own rules.
Is that a mulligan?
Yes. Well, no one wanted to tell him to get off the court.
That'll be good for his confidence anyway. He'll get another chance. That one won't count if he has 2 good dunks. He better bring out his best one next time, though, Kenny.
He's got to bring it all, because right now, no one's really showing the enthusiasm and getting the crowd involved right now. We need somebody to get this crowd on his feet. There it is. This might be it. This might be it. This might be it.
One thing I'm noticing on Corey Maggette right there, looks like he has a tearaway jersey right there. Have you noticed that? There's holes in the side like a dunk throw.
I think I know where that comes from. I think I know where the ball is going to be hitting in there. He's going to have to pull it out sometime.
I think he's going to go up, dunk, tear the jersey off at the same time.
All right, Corey Maggette, a little flip. Oh, and he puts it down with help from teammate Quentin Richardson.
Hey, I'm going with you, baby. That wasn't bad. That wasn't bad. That wasn't bad.
I've got to talk to Alvin Gentry about Clipper practices. I mean, how much time do you have to work on somersaults in practice?
That's impressive right there, though, Ken. I don't know many NBA players that can do that.
No,
but the dunk was only an 8. The flip was a 10.
The flip was a 10.
That's why I'm giving him a 9.
I remember Michael Finley tried to do a cartwheel dunk one time, hands on. He did a halfway cartwheel. That was a real gymnastic flip right there.
He's like, he should be in one of those, the Bud Light dunkers.
And you know what? The thing
Daredevil.
about it, after you come down out of that flip, the energy to go back up, that's where you get the 10 at.
Oh, come on, Kenny. The dunk was an 8.
All right, Darius Miles enjoying that dunk by teammate Corey Maggette. Let's go to Craig.
Well, Corey, the dunk is one thing, but as a former Willie the Wildcat, I was impressed with the flip. How do you practice things like that?
You know, I was just practicing at home, trying some different dunks. And, man, I just figured I had to get some creativity in the dunk. I had to try it, and, you know, I guess it went through.
Danny was expecting something from you. Also mentioned, looked like you had a tearaway jersey on. Is that something you have planned for later?
Yeah, I got that planned for later. So, you know, I'm going to hold that up and show you the next dunk I'm going to do.
How about a backflip?
I ain't going to do that one yet. I might bring it out if I get in the second round.
All right, thanks a lot. Back tomorrow.
Well, the judges liked it, as you saw. A minimum of 1 dunk in the first round must involve a teammate. So Corey Maggette combining with Quentin Richardson. So Maggette with a 46. Aaron Davis opening with a 45.
You know, you never asked me. We heard Kenny speak.
Yeah.
We heard Danny. You never asked me who I thought was going to win.
I don't see that question coming.
We'll ask you, Mike, who's going to win?
Well, I don't see it coming.
Thanks for asking, Danny.
Hey, I think me and Tiny Archibald's scores are mixed. I gave him a 10, and it said 8 on the thing, so our scores are mixed up. I like that dunk. So I gave that a 10.
I would be embarrassed to admit that I gave that a 10.
Yeah, that was a 10.
All right, here's Desmond Mason of the Seattle Supersonics, rookie from Oklahoma State, first-round pick of the Sonics. Oh, Mason trying to put it between the legs.
Oh, he attacked the front of the rim.
There's another guy. No sweat.
Yeah, you got to get loose. You got to get loose to try that the first dunk without sitting on the bench.
Oh, my goodness.
That's kind of like the first pitch from Ryan Duran coming out of the bullpen years ago.
Ryan Duran.
He can make that dunk, though.
He can make it easily if he was sweating.
I agree.
The czar with a sense of history, quoting.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do like Coach used to do in practice. Everybody take 3 laps and come back in. Get ready to practice. You're not ready to practice yet. That's what Coach Vitello used to do when I was with the Hawks.
Well, Coach Vitello, he's had 3 slam dunk champions.
Yes, he
Larry
had.
Nance, Spud Webb,
Well,
and
wait a
Dominique.
second. He had 2. He will explain why he thinks he had a 3rd.
Well, because he takes credit for Larry Nance.
I mean, I coached 3 slam dunk champions.
Larry Nance won it before you were coach of the Cavaliers.
I still coached
please.
him. That's the idea. That it was.
All right, here's Deshaun Stevenson, the 19-year-old of the Utah Jazz, and he misfires.
See, that's the inexperience I was talking about, Marv. See, being a dunk contest person and aficionado, you really have to come out with the ball in your hands. You got to keep it in your hands for your first dunk because you want your first one to go down to get your confidence. That's a dunk he can make, but he doesn't have his confidence up yet. Stage fright. Dr. J over here said it's stage fright. It's the first time, so you should keep the ball in your hands the first time because none of these guys have been in the dunk contest before.
Well, Deshaun Stevenson won the McDonald's All-American Classic when he was in high school. I know it's
Ain't no burgers here, baby.
But you got to come out. You got to just get warmed up, though. You
Ain't
got
no burgers here, man. This is the real deal.
All right, let's see if Stromile Swift will have learned from what he has seen from some of the other competitors?
Somebody like to ask me who I am picking to win this?
You picking the Stroh show, I'm assuming.
I am picking the Stroh show.
Is this after you saw other guys having problems in making the selection now?
I'm picking him because Shaquille O'Neal said that he's going to win it.
Here is Swift. Oh!
Uh-oh. Better put some stickum on the hands. I think that's a do-over. I think it's a do-over.
The ball was wet. That was a wet ball.
That's a replacement dunk.
Yeah, they're saying it was not a true attempt. And now he puts it down.
That's what I'm talking about, Kenny. Hey, you know what? I think he's going to, right now, he's the clear favorite. Even though I might not give him the greatest score, but he's going to be the favorite.
Stromile Swift, first-round pick of the Grizzlies, second selection overall in the draft. Following 2 years at LSU, not getting the playing time with Vancouver, just 21 years old.
Kenny, don't penalize Stromile because maybe I didn't give you as many minutes as you wanted back in Atlanta now, just because I picked him. Don't penalize his score.
The only reason I penalized him and didn't give him the 10 because he didn't really put enough funk in it when he turned around. He just did the basic 360 that we've seen over years and years to come.
But his head was about 3 inches from the rim.
All right, Stromile Swift with a 45, receiving 9 across the board. Let's go to Craig.
Well, you got a 45 after that first time when the ball slipped out. You got to be pretty happy.
Yeah, I'm just happy to get the bugs out. I'm just gonna go in and try to have fun and just bring out a little more stuff on my next dunk.
Well, that's what Kenny Smith says. You guys got to act like you have fun. You got to play to the crowd. You got to warm up. You got to do a couple laps, get in the flow of things.
Yeah, I got a little butterflies in my stomach, kind of nervous, but that first dunk kind of got him out, so I try to come back with something else.
All right, let's go back to Marv.
All right, Craig. Corey Maggette with a 46, leading the way, followed by Baron Davis and Stromile Swift. 2 more dunks to come on round 1. We'll be right back.
For everything else, there's MasterCard. And by Spalding. Play the best. Play Spalding.
Welcome back to the slam dunk competition. It hasn't been a lot of dunks. Doc, what's the problem out there?
Well, Cheryl, you're witnessing a classic case of stage fright on behalf of a lot of young athletes. And, you know, it's something that happens in other mediums, but you don't expect it in basketball, because basketball is basically a team sport. So if you're a little nervous, you know, your teammates can bring you out of that. These guys don't have any teammates now. They just have the floor and the rim and that ball.
All right. So David, Doc is saying that the guys seem to be a little nervous. What would be your advice?
Well, calm down and do some dunks that you can make. Pretty much. The guys can really jump, but they're just missing the dunks. So hopefully in the next round they'll be okay.
You guys haven't been working too hard. All right, let's go back to you, Marv.
All right, thank you, Cheryl. Very young field. No one older than 24. No one has more than 2 years experience. The veterans here are Baron Davis and Corey Maggette. And I guess Jonathan Bender, although he does not play very frequently for the Indiana Pacers. Baron Davis with his second dunk attempt on this opening round.
No knee brace for Baron Davis.
Well, Baron doesn't have to put up a great score here, Kenny, because he's in. Only 3 guys have a good score, but
That's the inexperience. If you don't need a great score, keep the ball in your hands, get to the next level.
Let's check in with Craig Sager.
Well, I'm with a 2-time NBA slam dunk champion, not just any 2-time NBA slam dunk champion, Michael Jordan. First of all, tell us about the competition here. Kenny Smith thinks he should be playing more to the crowd.
Well, you probably should be, but, I mean, it's hard. You know, the fans had the opportunity to see Vince Carter last year, and, you know, he's not in it this year as well as, you know, Kobe's not in it. So, I mean, you know, quite naturally, it's going to take a lot for them to get excited, I promise you.
You always performed under pressure, but in the slam dunk contest, 85, 88, of course, you had the big one with Dominique Wilkins. 3 times you had perfect scores. What did you try to do?
I didn't know. You know, the one thing that, you know, about this whole this competition, you just try to create. And whatever your mind comes up with, that's what you try to do. It's hard to practice and, you know, try to do something before. You just got to come out and let it happen.
Well, let's go back to Marv for a second. Marv.
All right, Craig. Michael wearing the sweatshirt. Is he looking to take the court?
Well, you notice what he did. The first thing Michael did is he snuck in his Carolina alumnus. Got Vince Carter's name out there. He knew that was coming.
I know he didn't mention Kenny Smith's dunks.
No, but Craig Sager said what he told him exactly what I said and relayed a message for me. So it's all connected. It's all connected.
Well, Jonathan better pull out one of his better dunks right here.
Jonathan might be sitting over here with us if he doesn't come here and do something spectacular.
Jonathan Bender of the Indiana Pacers, who recently celebrated his 20th birthday out of Picayune, Mississippi.
Kenny, you think he just changed his mind? He was going to do one thing and now just decided to go to something else?
I can't understand how you can have all that time and then you change your mind when you're on the court. You should know your second dunk by now. That's the inexperience. They got to come with it.
I think he's going with the Dr. J jump from the free throw line, except he's going to go from behind with his left hand.
All right, here's Bender on the run. As you called it, Dan. Puts it down with the left hand.
See exactly where he took off now on that.
Just inside the free throw line. You know, he was going to try to take off from behind it. He was going to put some tape up, but just barely. That's a pretty impressive dunk up with his left hand.
Pretty impressive. He didn't dribble the basketball. This is basketball. I'm not giving any violation. You violate you didn't double dribble. You double dribble. You walk. I'm calling it in here. I'm taking points off.
You can't change the rules.
I'm calling it. That's a walk. That's a walking violation.
And down through the years, there have been a number of outstanding stuffs straight down the lane. 1976, the Dr. Julius Erving. And here's Michael in 1988. Remember Brent Barry? He was the slam dunk champion in 1996.
And everyone had their foot on that free throw line. They all were like about 6 inches over the free throw line.
I would have all gave them all a 9 if they were here, too. I wouldn't have gave them a 10.
Everybody else gave him 10s the first time around, but now it's kind of old. You got to come up with something different. But he did it with his left hand also.
Corey Maggette of the Los Angeles Clippers, registering a 46 on his first attempt. A windmill effect by Maggette.
Playing it conservative that time, going for the sure thing, putting it down.
I'm not mad at him right now because it's the first round. He had a good score. Hey, keep it simple.
Man. Balls is horrible. Balls is horrible, dog.
There you go. Ball slipped out my hand, man. Why don't we just use our own ball?
You know, those are pretty simple looking dunks, but those are hard.
Yeah, but those are game dunks. These are dunks that we've seen these guys do in a game. In a dunk contest, there's nobody on the court but you. So you should be able to do something that we have not seen you do before.
Now look at the standings, and I remind you that one overall score, a composite of the two top scores, with the lowest score excluded, will be awarded in round one. Each player will attempt 3 dunks. This is the second dunk in the first round. And here's Desmond Mason of the Sonics. First round pick of Seattle. Began the season in the starting lineup, but Nate McMillan shuffled that lineup. Oh, nicely done by Desmond Mason.
A little more confidence that time coming out. Got the first one behind him. Came back with a little confidence there.
Well, this isn't too impressive. Again, this is a dunk every day. He tries to cradle it, but then he changes his mind and just goes with the basic reverse dunk.
Yeah, the ball slipped out his hand. You know, good dunk, but a game dunk. I've seen it in a game. I want to see a game dunk that you have never seen in a game.
42 for Desmond Mason. Let's get back to Craig and Michael.
Well, Michael, Kenny Smith hasn't seen anything you like so far. Have you seen a dunk you like?
You know, actually, I thought Corey was pretty innovative. I think I didn't know if I should judge him on the flip or the dunk, but actually, I think Jonathan's was pretty good. I mean, you got to realize he's right-handed and he's taking off from the free throw line, dunking it left hand. That's pretty impressive.
You saw Mario Lemieux come out every time. We heard John Thompson talk to you earlier. How bad are you itching to get back in the game?
Am I itching? No, I think Charles is itching more than I am. And, you know, in all honesty, you know, I left the best way I could have, you know, and, you know, in all honesty, I haven't even thought about it. You know, yeah, I get those urges. But right now, I can't say that I will, or I even consider it. Charles, he needs to lose about 800 pounds before he can even consider it.
Well, I don't think he can get up like the Sean Stevenson just did. What do you think of this dunk?
That was pretty good. I enjoyed that. I think that was very creative. I think you know, this kid is real young, and I think he's going to continue to learn more and more about his basketball skills, but you can see he has great creativity.
There's another look at the replay. Kenny says you should do dunks that you don't do in the game. You should be more innovative.
I think you should. I think this is probably the only time that your creativity can just go wild. You know, in a game, you don't really have time enough to do it. I think you got to worry about scoring the basket. But out here, you just let it go. You know, whatever you think about, just go out there and try it.
Well, you got a 46. Let's go back tomorrow.
All right, thanks, guys. So the Sean Stevenson, the 19-year-old first-round pick of the Utah Jazz, with a 46 as the follow-up to the 30 on his first attempt, which was a miss. And here is Stromile Swift of Vancouver.
I think he's got a little something special with Kenny right now.
Right now, to me, he's kind of the favorite just because of the height is what he did it. And he did kind of let his body go the last time in the dunk.
Kind of an angular path taken by Stromile Swift.
I ain't get it right that time.
He just does it so easy. You know, here's a guy that's 6'9" and jumps pretty easy. Pretty basic dunk again. That's something he would do on the fast break of a game.
No, I've seen him do it with the left hand a little bit better in the game, but I still think he's the favorite. That'll get him to the next round, though.
Not if you keep giving him aids.
Stromile checking the score, and a 45 to match the number that he picked up on his first dunk. So after two dunks of the first round, a look at the composition. We'll be back with the third dunk on round one in a moment. The highest individual scores, 46, picked up by Bender, McGetty, and Stevenson. Davis and Swift on two occasions with a 45. This is the third and final dunk of the first round. There are 2 rounds of competition. 3 of the participants will advance to the final round.
Hey, Kenny, let me ask you, would you rather do 3 straight dunks in a row or have all this time in between each one of your dunks?
I'd rather have time to sit around and think about it. I don't know what David Wesley's doing with a camcorder. This is great. Eddie made a great pass. This one is starting to heat up right now.
I got to see the replay again. I wasn't even ready to watch it.
He is getting ready right now. He's heating up right now.
A minimum of 1 dunk in this first round must involve a teammate, but this was rather unique.
Well, this is a teammate and a prop at the same time. Do you get extra credit for the camera?
That's for the home viewing. I think he's going to have just watching the home view. But he makes the perfect pass. I gave David Wesley at 10, too.
That's pretty good right there. The dunk wasn't that hard. The pass was good.
No, he jumped over him, Danny.
He was laying on the ground.
David Wesley has his own replay.
I've had this replay before. Gotta be a fan, right? Laying on the ground with guys dunking over me.
Yeah.
I've been in there. I've been right there before.
That's a very familiar picture for a lot of us.
Very creative work by the combination of Baron Davis, David Wesley. Picks up a 49. Only Danny Ainge.
What's up with Danny Ainge? You know, it was creative with the thing, but it wasn't that hard of a dunk.
No, you over here drinking Haterade, man. Get out of here. That was a good dunk.
It was a good dunk.
Give him artistic credit, Danny.
Yeah, just like you did last time.
Al Harrington now will assist his Indiana Pacer teammate, Jonathan Bender. I don't see any props on Al Harrington.
And I would use Travis Best to be my passer. I don't know about this guy Harrington being a passer. He's a scorer rebounder. Pass a little bit too low.
Yeah. That's what made it hard, Kenny, is that he threw it down low. It's like a bad pass drill. You got to catch it low and get it up quick. That's just what he did.
Right, but he didn't give him time to get the illusion going that he's doing more with the basketball than he actually is, like moving it around. He just had to catch it real quick and dunk it because he threw him a bad pass like a forward.
But that's much harder than throwing the ball up over the top of the rim and letting him catch it and dunk it.
Get Travis Best out there, he would have got a 10 from me.
All right, Jonathan awaiting the tabulation. 44 for Jonathan Bender. This is the third and final dunk on the first round.
The second round of
Now Corey Maggette of the Los Angeles Clippers talking it over with his teammate Quentin Richardson, who did take part in an earlier dunk with Maggette effectively.
Is this the tearaway jersey, or is he saving it for the next round?
He better not be saving anything. He's got to put up a pretty good score right here.
You've got to hang a long time in the air to tear it away and dunk, don't you, Ken?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I've seen some variations in street ball basketball, guys tearing their jersey or taking it off as they're dunking. So I will be interested to see what he does.
It'd be great if he tore it away and Kenny's picture was on the jersey.
What do you think?
On the left side.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Mixed reaction from the crowd.
Because we thought it was a real game. We didn't think this was a dunk contest. I thought that's a real game. Just regular, go to the basket, put it in as hard as you can with authority.
I'm not sure he knew what he wanted to do as he was on his way, and he got there and all of a sudden just kind of played it safe.
Yeah, but you can't play it safe right now. I think you're right. I don't know what he's waiting for. He better hope to get into the finals and someone else collapses here at the end.
And after 3 dunks, see the scores for Davis, Bender, and Maggette.
See, Maggette's eliminated because Swift has 90 already, and Swift doesn't even need to do the last dunk unless Stevenson or Mason come up with something big here.
Lean over, just squat though, right there.
And he's not going to jump over him, is he?
Well, if I was Rashard Lewis, we talk about
Rod,
we talk about inexperience. We talk about naiveness. I would not let him jump over me if I was Rashard Lewis.
Desmond Mason positioning his Seattle teammate, Rashard Lewis.
He needs a 48.
Uh-oh. He might go on his back and then do it. How about that? Can you run up his back, jump off his back, and dunk it?
You can.
You can for a 6.
You want to put the team's best player out for the rest of the year?
Oh, Mason got a piece of Lewis.
They're going to give it to him again because that wasn't an attempted dunk.
Little kick in the back.
It's a slip, but in a game, if that slips, the other team gets the ball. That's a dunk for me.
Desmond Mason once again making contact with teammate Rashard Lewis. Took a couple of hits.
Rashard Lewis hugging him and thanking him for not landing on him.
I got me back in this next round.
You got to see the replay here, Kenny. Did he really jump over the top of him? From our angle, we can't really tell if he jumps over him. He doesn't jump side of him. He goes right over the top of him. That's impressive.
It's impressive. It really is. But
also, that's better than Baron Davis's dunk.
Okay, but
he
let me
threw
tell
the ball up right by the rim and he caught it and dunked it.
Let me tell you why. Vince Carter jumped over a human being that was 7'3", standing up. This guy had this. He had bend him over. He had Rashard Lewis bend it over. I got to give him a 9. I've seen somebody do it in a game over someone 7'3" standing. End of story.
But Kenny, that was international play.
But that's still better than Baron Davis's dunk, and you gave him a 10.
There's some people you can never satisfy.
Deshaun's got to bring out his real thing here. They call this dunk right here. Russell and Deshaun have been practicing this, and they call it the off-the-heezy fasheezy. What do you think?
Please, get out of here. I don't believe it till I see it.
All right, Deshaun Stevenson needs a 45 to advance to the final round. He has his teammate, Brian Russell, with him.
At my score and always going to go one over. He was going to put the same thing I was until I put mine down, and he put it one over.
I give Brian Russell a 10 and Deshaun a 9.8, so I'm rounding it off.
Sean Stevenson, who made the jump to the NBA out of Washington Union High School in Fresno, California, one of 2 high school players to join the league this season. The other, Darius Miles of the Clippers, and a very impressive 49, only Kenny Smith holding out, providing a 9.
Well, he said he needed 45, and he went out there and got a 49.
You know, I like the dunk. I really did, but it was... I'm going to save it. I need something to see something else for the next round.
He had a name for it, too. Off the heezy fasheezy.
It was off the heezy fasheezy, but it didn't really get me to the 10 level.
Well, how did Baron Davis's get you to the 10 level? He just flipped the ball up.
It was early. It was early. He caught me early.
Now, Stromile Swift of the Vancouver Grizzlies needs a 47 to advance to the final.
Kenny, this is where the young man really must understand the rules and what he has to do to move on to the next round.
Well, if Damon Jones can be inventive and innovative, he maybe can make like he's sitting in a defensive stance and he'll be in the same position.
Right.
But Damon's not a defensive type player, so he's not even thinking that.
He can't squat down low enough, you're saying. Hey, but they're going to just throw the ball up, it looks like, and then Stromile's going to catch it. But, hey, he needs a dunk. He's got to get a 46 and a 47. What does he need to advance?
47 and 46 would force, believe it or not, a dunk-off with Desmond Mason to make it to the final round. As Kenny mentioned, that's Stromile's Vancouver teammate, Damon Jones.
I wonder if he knows what he needs to advance.
Well, I'm trying to figure out it looks like Damon's going to do some passing. Why wouldn't you bring Mike Bibby? I don't understand it. He's the best three-point shooter on your team, but not the best passer.
Oh, Big Country's the best passer. I'd like to see him jump over Big Country.
Oh, Swift way off on that attempt.
That was a perfect pass, though. I'll give it to Damon.
Oh, that would have been impressive. I think he would have had enough.
That would have been a 10.
Yeah. I think that was a slip. Don't you think they should do it over?
I think they're ruling it a dunk, an attempt. He had it in his hand going to the basket. There's your guy. He's going home.
A disappointed Stromile Swift heads back to the bench. A look at the finalists, Baron Davis, Desmond Mason, and Sean Stevenson will have the final after this.
The next calls.
Welcome back to the NCI Center, Washington, D.C. Marv Albert, Mike Fratello, along with our judges, TNT colleagues, Kenny Smith, Danny Ainge, set for the final round of the slam dunk. And the finalists, Desmond Mason, rookie from Oklahoma State, Seattle Supersonics, Sean Stevenson of the Utah Jazz, the 19-year-old first-round draft pick, and Baron Davis, second-year man from UCLA, member of the Charlotte Hornets. And in this final round, each player will attempt 2 dunks, either solo or with a teammate assisting. The combined score of the 2 dunks will determine the champion. Here's Desmond Mason.
Ooh, that's like the old Michael Jordan, a little bit different angle, but with the left hand again instead of the right.
And he's getting better and better as this competition goes on. You see his confidence has grown now. He feels very comfortable. He's showing us something here.
That's impressive dunk right there. It looks a lot better in slow motion, too.
Yeah, if I had the benefit of slow motion, I might have even raised my score, but I didn't. Fast motion, I give him a 9.
Well, that's good right there. Those used to be 10s. When Michael Jordan did that, it was a 10.
Yeah, because he's the first to do it. It's easy to copy what someone else has done. Make the blueprint and build the house is much more difficult.
I haven't seen anybody copy yours yet. Between the legs.
You know who?
I think
Baron Davis said he was going to do it. He told me he was going to do it. We're going to see. He can get a 10 for me for that one, just for bringing back memories.
We messed up the program here.
NBA official Tim Donahue handing the ball to Baron Davis.
Go!
Stephon Marbury of the New Jersey Nets rooting on Baron Davis.
One replacement in the finals right here, so this is good. But he's going to try to do something different, I think. That's not good enough right there, Kenny.
No, that's a first-round dunk to kind of get your jitters going.
Any dunk that I could do doesn't count.
Lot better.
I can't do that.
That's a Dominique Wilkins dunk from a few years back.
And Davis is not 6'3", by the way. He's your size. He's about 6'1".
Watch my next one. Pull out the secret weapon.
Baron Davis picking it up after the miss. Coming back strong. That's the replacement dunk. Let's check it with Craig Sagan. Craig?
Well, Baron, you get one replacement dunk in the finals, and obviously you needed that mulligan.
What'd you say?
I said you get one replacement dunk in the finals. Obviously you needed that.
Now I'm going to pull out my secret weapon. I'm going to the secret weapon, my bag of tricks, and I got a surprise for my last dunk. I bet you'd be surprised. What?
Well, give us a hint.
It's called the blind man's bluff.
Blind man's bluff.
Yeah.
Beforehand, I know it's tough for you. A lot of people said you're the favorite, but your father passing away this month. I saw you writing something on the shoes. What were you doing?
I was just writing his name. You know, I'm just dedicating this to my father. Also, my grandfather, who passed away when I was younger. And, you know, it's definitely been a hard week. I haven't had time to really prepare for anything, you know, traveling back and forth from Charlotte to L.A. to make funeral arrangements and also to attend the services. So, you know, I'm just here and trying to be in good spirits and represent them.
All right, good luck. Make them proud.
Thanks a lot.
All right, Craig, it's been a difficult stretch for Baron Davis, but as you heard, said he hasn't really had time to work on his dunks. Said he'd go back to his high school repertoire, although he does promise the blind man's bluff later on. That was mishandled, actually, by Sean Stevenson on the pass.
He might have been better off missing it and using it as a chance to go back again and take another one.
Where's John Stockton when you need a pass?
It wasn't the pass right there. That was just that was non-creative. That can't be his plan right there.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's not good enough right there, Kenny. I mean, again, that's a dunk I could do. Not right now. Not right now.
Even then, where's this dunk I could do? I don't remember all of these dunks, man. I remember, like, you dunking 3 times in your whole career.
Hey, remember when we did that, the Kenny Smith dunk?
When you had the bigger Brigham Young game, when you got a chance to dunk it for the game, when you laid it in. Come on, I remember that.
That's because Orlando Woodridge was sitting right there.
I don't know. That's when you dunk on somebody. That's what I'm talking about. You're a layup king. You're not a dunk king.
Would Deshaun have been wiser to go with a replacement dunk?
I think he should if he can. After a make, I think you're not allowed to. I'm not really too sure of the rules.
No, he should have. What he's saying is, I think what Marv's saying, he should have let the ball go.
No, well, Marvin's saying what I said. That's what Marvin's saying. He's just repeating the fact that I said he should have missed it and done a replacement dunk.
No. Danny, will you please join us at the table? The Czar is just out of control. The scoreboard in this final round after the first dunk. And we now come down to the final dunk of this final round. And this is Desmond Mason of the Sonics.
Now he's leading, Kenny, but he had a miss. So he doesn't get a replacement. He's got to come up with a good one here to maintain his lead. But he's been the most consistent. Doesn't count. Ooh, if he pulls this one off, though.
If he pulls that off, you know, he's
a winner.
He can take the trophy home. He's got $25,000, and he's got a new nickname from me on Monday.
What?
I don't know. I'm going to come up with it. Damn.
How many of those tries do you get?
I remember last year, the word was 3.
Yeah, Larry Hughes. I think that's the Larry Hughes rule.
Yes.
That's the Larry Hughes rule.
And Mason connects on his 3rd attempt.
Safe than sorry. That's what we just saw there.
Well, I'll tell you what, if he would have been able to pull off that first one, that would have clinched it. It just goes to show you how awesome Carter was last year, able to do that, but this is still impressive. Mason has been the most consistent dunker so far in the competition.
Most consistent dunker by far in the competition.
All right, here is the score. Desmond Mason a 44 and a total of 89 for the final. And now, Baron Davis of the Charlotte Hornets, who had promised the blind man's bluff out of the cages of Cedric Ceballos. And being aided by teammate David Wesley. Kenny, see, what do you think?
Hey, this was one of my 5 worst dunks because I didn't think that Cedric Ceballos really could not see. Baron Davis can see. He can see. He is fooling us too much. He can see. I don't know what kind of gimmick he has, but he can see.
Well, you said he had to get the crowd involved. He's getting the crowd involved.
Look at that hole right there. I can see your hole, big guy.
Baron Davis needs a 46 to win it. Stevenson has already been eliminated. He said
he had a replacement?
He was checking it out.
No, he was trying to fake you, man.
Did he already use his replacement? Yes, he did. He used that replacement on a missed dunk earlier, so that will do it. For Baron Davis. And the winner is Desmond Mason of the Seattle Supersonics. Let's go to Craig.
All right, Baron. First of all, you did not get the dunk. You did not win the competition, but your integrity is intact because they're giving you a lot of grief saying you could see through that. Obviously, you couldn't.
Look at this, man. You can't see no holes. Ain't no holes in this. I couldn't see. But David wasn't supposed to stop me. I told him to stop me if I'm not close enough. But
you know, you could have cheated and put some holes in there. Nobody would know the difference.
Oh, well, I guess I messed up. It was good fun.
Great effort, though.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
Marv?
Well, the blind man's bluff did not exactly work the way Baron Davis had planned it.
He should have had a hole if he didn't. That is the all-time worst dunk contest.
That's
dunk. That's all-time worst.
That's going to be in your bottom.
Darryl Armstrong has just moved down on my list.
And Deshaun Stevenson is just finishing it out. Not in grand style. He cannot win it. Desmond Mason has clinched it. Even a 50 would put him 1 point short of Mason. Nice finish, but it will not matter.
There's some power right there.
That was beautiful, though. He wanted to go between the legs, and then the ball came up too high.
Stevenson awaiting the score, and I'm certain he does not realize that he does not have a shot. But there's no question that Desmond Mason of the Seattle Supersonics, the rookie from Oklahoma State.
I gave you a low score, but I didn't give you lower than what they got. No question about it. Congratulations.
If you could have pulled off between the legs, you would have gotten good
I kept hitting my pants.
He would have had a nickname for you.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Well, Desmond Mason, the most consistent dunker. You win the championship. Tell us what you tried to accomplish here.
The main thing was just to come out and just have a lot of fun. You know, we had a bunch of young guys in the dunk contest this year, and you know, just kind of getting their face out there and have the opportunity to come to All-Star Weekend, which has been a dream of mine for a long time. But you know, just come out and have fun. If you win, you win. If you lose, you know, have fun doing it.
Did you look at some of the past dunkers, like the great champions, like Michael Jordan, Dr. J, Dominique Wilkins, Vince Carter, and try to learn something?
I mean, you could try to, but you know, all those dunks, they you know, they did those early, and it's, you know, it's becoming, you got to come up, be more creative right now, and you know, that's what I tried to do today, and I think all the guys tried to do. If you can see that, be a little more creative, be unique about your dunks, and you know, it's kind of hard with all the dunks that's been taken away from us today.
A great victory. You represent the Seattle Sonics, but also you represent your alma mater, Oklahoma State. How difficult is this time then for you after the plane crash and the tragedy that happened at Oklahoma State?
It's been hard. I mean, I've been thinking about it every day. It's hard to get off your mind. There's so much speculation. You know, there's a little closure on the situation, me having an opportunity to go back, but it's still hard to lose some friends in that manner. And, you know, I'm just trying to deal with it the best way I can. My teammates are helping me in Seattle. My family back in Oklahoma State, my family in Texas, they're helping me out get through the situation. But it's still a struggle for me, though.
So many people put the NBA players on a pedestal. They forget they had the same tragedies. You feel the same sorrows as everybody in the stands and everywhere. How tough really was it for you to concentrate on the game, knowing after you went back to the memorial service you had to think about the game of basketball?
You know, it's kind of hard when you can sit out there and play basketball and feel guilty about it. I mean, this has been a lifelong dream for me, but I feel guilty going out and playing, knowing that I've lost teammates that love the game also, and it's hard to deal with. You know, it's hard to smile, it's hard to laugh. You know, because you lost people like that, and their families' lives are torn apart right now. But, you know, all I can do is help them the best way I can. It's helping me also get some closure on the situation and deal with this problem. But it's been rough. It's been a tough situation.
Desmond Mason said it was hard to smile. It's hard to laugh. If you enjoyed his performance here, let's let Desmond Mason know how we feel about him. Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
All right, thank you, Craig. Desmond Mason.
Home of NBA All-Star 2001. Turn on your All-Star lights. The NBA